Okay, so today we're going to be trying the Buggy counterparts to the Can You Open with Buggy / Rhino. This deck is... I mean, this deck already existed. I've literally made videos about this deck before, so I don't think much will have changed. Like, it's literally just Buggy Scorpion Inferno deck, so I don't think like Buggy having free vision. It's slightly better with the Buggy free vision. Overall, I think the nerfs to Inferno probably make this deck worse than the buff to the vision of Buggy makes it better. But vision is pretty powerful, so maybe that's not true. New objective received. I think Black Mirror... I like Black Mirror quite a lot, although I agree that like the last few seasons haven't been that good. But like the first like 2 or 3 seasons, I think were pretty good. I've watched Inside Number 9. I like that one. That's good. I enjoyed that. It was an entertaining series. Alright, so as a Buggy opener, you play tank because you want people to switch into bikes and Pitbull against you, because that's when tank is at its best. Like, so really, like, the ideal... Buggy opening is best against Barracks opening, because then your opponent is gonna switch into bikes or Pitbull pretty quickly when the lasers can't beat the Buggy. Unless your opponent has, like, Mutant Marauder or what's the other one, Grenadier, but that's pretty unusual. It's like, no, you don't normally see. It's pretty strange for people to open. I mean, I guess actually that's not true. Mutant decks generally open with Rifleman, so maybe that's not that weird. Anyway, you basically want people to open rifles and then go laser and then have to go bike / Pitbull, and then you win the first missile like this, because tank just beats their light vehicles and Buggy beats their laser. And then, depending on their deck, you can just Buggy laser for the entire game. Now, this guy has a tick tank. I can maybe beat tick tanks. If I can like, shoot it while it's moving and stuff. Ah, shit. Alright, we're probably not going to beat the tick tank if it gets burrowed, which it's going too soon. So yeah, they probably have to tech switch now. We probably don't win against tick tank once it's burrowed. I guess we can just laser. We don't have to go, like, all out. We don't have to go, like, Inferno here. We could probably just make a laser and start chipping away at it. Find out what his anti-infantry looks like. Gone for another tick tank. Okay, good choice. I respect it. Getting tick tanks burrowed is pretty strong. We've got a third tick tank. Big winner. Big plays from this guy. So the other thing you can do against tick tank, of course, is absorb shots with other units and then hit it even when it's burrowed. It's fine. 4th tick tank, alright. We probably need to go, probably gonna need to get thingy here, an Inferno. I didn't actually mean to make Flamer, that was meant to be a laser. But no problem. As long as you have like an infantry to tank for your tank, so you can absorb a shot and then go in, you can beat tick tank pretty easily. Boosted Chuggy against my Flamer Scorp. Alright, man. So yeah, tick tank, not too bad a matchup. I even have the access. I have access to, like, if we lose that missile, we can maybe try and save for an Inferno.
3, 2, 1. New mission received. For the crystals.
Good welcome, citizens.
Unit ready.
Old fire. That's not. That wasn't the point, Engels. That wasn't what they were trying to say. What they were trying to say is that as I understood it, at least, what they were trying to say is that the kidnapper never intended to kill anyone, and was in fact just waiting to see if they would do it. That's how I interpreted it anyway. Like, they already released them. They never had any intention of killing them. And it wasn't the princess's finger either, right? So like there was never any intention to harm the person. They were just like trying to see if they could get someone to do something ridiculous. Like, it's literally an episode about trolling, basically. At least that's how I interpreted it. So Predator tank, not a great matchup for us as a Scorp deck. But we do have Inferno, so it's not like we're just dead to Predators. That's a lot of jump jets, my guy. Pretty unusual to have jump jets and Predator tank as well. I mean, I guess, like, well, it's just pretty unusual to have jump jets, period, because they're not very good. And he's going for the half. Okay. Tells you everything you need to know
Certainly newsworthy.
about this game of Command & Conquer Rivals.
Unit ready.
Scorpion ready to sting in the blowing them apart. Harvest Scorpion ready. Sting in the tail.
I know that unit preservation isn't super important in Command & Conquer Rivals, but I feel like when you have a full health squad, that's like something you maybe shouldn't completely throw away without thinking about it.
Scorpion ready to hunt.
Especially if you end up like just building another one almost right away. This guy, to be fair, it looks like he doesn't really want those jump jets, which is legit. It might have just occurred to him that jump jets are terrible. Like he made a couple of jump jets and he was like, wow, these things are not very good. I'm actually just going to suicide them to get pop cap for real units, and that's fair enough. That would be legit. Yeah, I mean, I also might have misinterpreted. That's just, I'm just saying what my interpretation one of it was.
3, 2, 1. New objective available.
All right, going well so far. I don't think there's like,
Building online.
I don't think much has changed here. Like the objective is to understand if you can open Buggy now and not play bikes. But this deck already existed and we already knew you could do this. So I think maybe yes. I felt like with Rhino, I actually think like with the Rhino opening, I felt like it wasn't bad. I didn't feel that constrained by my opening of Rhino. I just don't think there's any reason to cut Pitbull. Like I don't think you replace Pitbull. This deck, I can see like cutting the bikes. I think makes some sense
Ready to hunt.
because you have Phantom. I think that's basically what it comes down to. I think if you're not going to play bikes, you basically have to have Phantom because you need something that beats things like Orca, which without the bikes, like Laser does not do it. Laser is not really an answer to Orca. What is this mutant doing? It's so aggressive. James, relax, man. What was I saying? Yeah, I need to get Buggy up here. Kind of forgotten what I was saying. I'm trying to win this missile. Yeah, so like without Pitbull, I think GDI really struggles to have great anti-air. Hammerhead is not Phantom. And you need something that can beat Orcas, and that is Phantom. Whereas, like, Hammerhead is not as good as Phantom, and Pitbull is amazing. I think if you're going to cut Pitbull, you need to play Sling. Like, that's the only way to cut Pitbull from a deck, really. And that's what a lot of people do. Like, most Slingshot players... Well, I don't know about most, but a lot of Slingshot players don't have a Pitbull in their deck. And I think that's how you cut Pitbull if you really want to cut Pitbull, is you play Sling. I never ever want to play Sling, ever, in a million years. It's actually just like the thing I would want to do least in Command & Conquer Rivals, except maybe play MSV. So I just don't want to play Sling. But I think that is, if that is your goal, is to find an answer to the how do I not play Pitbull dilemma, if that is in fact a dilemma you're having, the answer is to play Slingshot. If you want to open Rhino, that's fine, but I don't think it has any influence on whether or not you're gonna play, Pitbull. I think you always play Pitbull regardless. It's just too good. Nailed it.
Objective complete. Establishing battlefield control.
Nice, I saw you trying to get to Tiberium League earlier today. Did you achieve Tiberium League?
New objective received.
Carefully now.
Building online.
I do enjoy the quad in... oh, I'm getting bike rushed. This is one of the issues with Buggy opening. You play the same person twice in a row, they know you're going to open Buggy, they bike rush you. Nothing you can do about it either, like you just get bike rushed. The best answer, I believe, tank is too slow, the best answer is just to do this. You just harvest, you get a laser, you lose your harvester, and then you keep playing the game. Because losing a harvester is, as most people know, not actually immediately game over. Oh, and he's got the chuggy as well. This might be game over. This might actually just be GG.
Our base is under attack.
This is one of the issues with opening Buggy. You are extremely weak to a bike rush, because everybody knows that you're going to be opening a War Factory unit that loses to bike. So once you play against someone who knows you're doing it, they can definitely do this to you. But, so what, right? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So what? Like, bike rushing doesn't win games. Losing your harvester once or even twice doesn't lose you the game. Look at the board state now. Is it, unless he has like an artillery or something. If he has some random tech unit that's about to pop out, he just concedes. He bike rushes me successfully, almost gets a second bike, then almost gets a second harvester, and then concedes. If he pushed me completely off the map with that chemical buggy, like if it was old chemical buggy, it probably would have been strong enough to kill off more of my lasers. He might have been able to completely push me off of the Tiberium. Then I lose the game. That's when you lose the game. You don't lose the game to losing your harvester, you lose the game to not being able to harvest again. But since that didn't happen, it wasn't really an issue. The other issue with Buggy and Rhino opening is that you're just really bad against War Factory opening. You really want someone to go barracks and then be forced into War Factory. Just them opening War Factory is pretty bad for you. Because this happens, right? Like, you just end up doing nothing for like the first 40 seconds. Whilst your opponent has complete control of the map. You're also weaker in a tank mirror than your opponent. Because bikes are better than Buggy in a tank mirror. Like, they're a better support unit.
Weapons charging. Lasers charged. Attack Buggy. Checking in. Lasers as he designed.
It's got Chuggy as well. Everyone has Chuggy. Not a single person on this planet has played Nod without putting Chuggy in their deck. Yeah, we lose first missile to the Chuggy because the tank is going to be too late.
We will not yield. We will not yield.
Unit ready.
Bringing fire to the world. Glory to God. Spirit is near. A clearance.
Unit ready.
For the front. We will not yield.
Unit offline.
Scorpion tank reporting. We'll hit them with Scorpion red. Carefully now.
Alright, well we want to stall because we want to get to our late game.
Scorpion ready to hunt. Honor. Scorpion tank report. Scorpion moving. Sting in the tail. Blowing them apart.
Unit ready.
Ready to purify with flame. For the sting in the tail. Spirit is near. Scorpion taking. We sting in the tail.
Unit ready.
Scorpion. We will not. Scorpion. Scorpion tank.
We don't really have a good answer to the wheels either. Because again, we don't have bikes.
Unit offline.
Advancing. Blowing them apart.
Unit offline.
Glory to sting in the tail. Spirit is near.
Unit offline.
Laser squad blowing them. Taking position. Glory to God.
Unit ready.
Lord Scorpion roll. Taking fire. Attack. Scorpion tank on the
Wow, I had to micro so well to win that missile. Okay, this is tough. Also, because we're a Flamer Buggy deck and we open with Buggy, like, it's so expensive. Actually getting to Inferno is really difficult.
Scorpion ready to hunt. Here, end it. Inferno as he dissolves. Napalm tanks to full.
Unit offline.
His will. Moving. Scorpion.
Unit offline. Unit ready.
Lasers. For the front. Scorpion take. Laser squad. Power Scorpion. Inferno bomb. Inferno Scorpion rolling. We will not yield. Spirit is near.
Unit ready.
Scorpion tank ready to strike.
Unit ready.
Flame of Scorpion tank on the move. We will not yield. Advancing. Burn delivering napalm with a spire. Your end is near. Delivering napalm with a spire.
No, that was meant to be an Inferno. Fuck, I think I just lost.
Unit offline.
Yeah, this Phantom misbuild is probably going to lose me the game.
Unit ready.
Yeah, looks like it. Maybe not? Phantom saves the day randomly? Great job, Phantom. What a yikes.
Enemy base destroyed.
Alright, we know he opened War Factory last time, so we'll just open Laser. Like, we don't want to open Buggy when we know he'll probably just open, like, Bikes as well. Even if he still opens Wheel, he's still better off than us opening Buggy. So we'll just go Laser first. Yep, I assumed he'd open Bikes. Now, he had Chuggy, so it's going to be a little while until... He has Chuggy Laser, right? Or Chuggy Wheel? Does he has Seth, but like, does he have another way to handle lasers? Like laser spam? Or is he kind of weak to laser spam? I think he's kind of weak to laser spam.
Unit ready. Unit offline. Unit offline.
Buggy isn't the absolute smashes everything that it used to be. It's still pretty good against lasers, but it doesn't just like outright beat them. I mean, it does 1v1 obviously, but like you can get a couple of lasers and do a pretty good job against Chuggy.
Unit ready.
I don't know how these lasers are going to do, but I'm going to let them fight and see.
Unit offline.
Not great is the answer.
Nuclear weapon launched.
Nice, got a harvester kill out of it.
Offline.
Hit the Inferno.
Unit offline. Unit ready.
Not sure what his answer to Inferno is yet. Probably just bites.
Unit offline.
You can kind of just beat Inferno with bites, to be honest. Pretty legit.
Unit ready. Unit offline. Unit ready.
Alright, well, got him.
Nuclear warhead launched.
His like bike opening into my lasers with Wheel Chuggy as his anti-imp was not great for him.
3, 2,
Alright, Maximus again, but now on GDI. I think I guess I go back to Buggy opening.
building on.
Why not do it? Because you told me to open Buggy. We're trying Buggy opening, so switching to rifle opening.
Unit ready.
Honestly, like a Buggy opening deck could maybe just not play the Inferno Phantom, but I don't know. Pitbull is probably good for us. I'm guessing he has Predator? He's probably playing Predator, right? To beat the Scorpions. But we do have Inferno, so it's not like we just auto-lose to Predators. We are going to have to save up for an Inferno, though, which is quite expensive. Grens! Ah, that's a bit of a yikers. That is a bit of a yikers.
Unit ready.
Was it Gren Sniper or Gren Razorback?
Unit ready.
Razorback, sure. This seems like a fine matchup. We have Flamers to... We have Buggy to help with missiles. We have Flamers to help with Grens.
Offline.
We have Phantom for late game when we want to have an answer to, like a better answer to Razorback. I think I need to get to the Phantom to kill the Razorback and then make flames. I think that's probably the best thing to do here. So expensive though, the whole thing.
Unit ready.
Scorpion ready. Scorpion ready. Scorpion tank phantom ready to engage.
Oh yeah, it doesn't one-shot anymore. I forgot about that. That was a good change, actually. That was a good change.
Unit ready.
Need the Buggy to help out. Get him, Buggy. Thanks, Buggy.
Unit offline. Unit ready. Unit offline.
Yeah, this was a pretty easy matchup. This deck seems like it crushes his deck pretty hard.
You are victorious.
Back on the nod.
3.
Now the question is, what are we opening? It has to be laser.
New mission received. Building online.
Unless he switched his deck up and he didn't have a good answer to lasers.
Ready.
Move for the Brotherhood. Laser squad, power and precision.
Unit ready.
Your command. Taking laser squad, ready for anything. Lasers charged. Here's lasers. Your command. As laser squad, taking position.
Unit ready.
With lasers charged. Here's kill. We'll hit them with laser squad. Our lasers for the Brotherhood. Kill them all. Your command. Lasers move. Laser squad, ready for anything. Lasers. As he does some laser squad. His will manifest.
Building online.
Your command.
Unit
We're
ready.
gonna want tank pretty soon.
Unit offline.
Our lasers will melt them.
Unit offline.
Laser Scorpion red sting in the tail. Lasers as he desires. Scorpion lasers taking position. Scorpion move.
Not sure these flamers are gonna be in time. Looks like no. Yeah, there's no way.
All up his with sting in the tail.
Actually, kind of close. Oh, hello. We're on the pads. We're not dead. Feels pretty good.
Unit offline.
Glory to God.
Unit ready. Unit offline.
Fuck. I fucked that up. Oh, still not dead, boys. Still not dead. Let's go. Buggy and a gun.
Unit ready.
Come on, fire the missile. Fire the missile. No, we were so close. That's sad.
Unit ready. Unit offline.
Oh, maybe we can hold it. Let's go. Let's go, Buggy and a gun. Yes, Buggy and gun. Let's go.
Offline.
Laser squad ready for anything. Kill them all.
Unit ready.
Lasers Scorpion tank ready to strike. We will not kill them all.
Unit ready.
Lasers move. Laser squad. Our lasers.
Unit offline.
Hit all the laser squad. Weapons charged.
Unit offline.
We will not be blowing them apart. Or kill Scorpion tank reporting.
Unit ready.
Scorpion ready. Scorpion ready. We will not yield.
Unit offline.
Blowing them apart. We will not
Unit ready.
All the taking position. Scorpion steaming. Let's go. We will not yield.
Laser, the cowards play.
Scorpion. Scorpion advancing. Scorpion is near. Scorpion rolling. For the Brotherhood.
Unit ready. Missile cancel.
We will not yield. Sting in the tail.
Unit offline.
As he desires.
Unit ready. Nuclear missile.
Didn't quite get my laser on the pad in time. I really need to be able to switch into Inferno. Like, once I get to Inferno, I think I'm heavily favored in this matchup, but just doesn't look realistic to ever get there with such an expensive deck. Like, I'm constantly spending 70 and 30. Although, having said that, I just sat here and did nothing for a while, and now I have an Inferno, so who knows.
Taking position. Carefully now.
Unit offline.
Gonna heat things.
Attack buggy chicken ear. Good. Scorpion advance. Burn it.
Bad. That's not what I wanted my Inferno to do at all.
Get down, ladies. As your command.
Gonna hit the moving Inferno bomber reporting.
Unit ready.
Buggy, on.
A-bomb tanks are full. Delivering
Glory to taking position.
Unit offline.
His will.
Unit ready.
Lays ready to go off-roading.
Inferno bomb.
As you come up.
A-bomb Inferno in motion.
Unit enhanced.
Wait.
I'm gonna bomb myself. That's gonna be GG. Well, he got me finally. Finally got me after 4 games. Yeah, this deck's kind of bad. It's just like it's so expensive. Like if you get into a fight with your infantry in your war factory, you can't get to your air tower.
Establishing battlefield control.
No imp to imp equals bad. If you go up against Mutant, I actually have no idea how he beats Mutant or Gren. I think he must just auto lose to Mutant and Gren. Since the Chuggy nerf, I don't see how he ever beats Mutant and Gren. But with the old Chuggy, like in the old patch, you could beat Mutants and Grens with Chuggy Wheel if you played it well. Now I have no idea. I don't know what he's doing against Mutants.
Unit ready.
Considering Banshee over Inferno. Yeah, because the Inferno is unplayable. Like this deck never has this deck almost never has 150 to make an Inferno. It's so expensive. Whereas a Banshee is 30, that'd be very easy to make and would have been very good in that game. Well, actually no, it'd probably still be not very good in that game, but like Banshee Buggy could have beaten most of his stuff, I think.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
That was the wrong boost. That was supposed to be on my tank, obviously. Probably gonna lose this missile to being pop capped on buggies.
Unit offline.
Perhaps not. Tank carries. Tank carries the day as always. Good job, tank.
Missile launched.
I actually have no idea how that Maximus deck ever beats a mutant. Like, if you play against him and just make mutants, I don't see how he ever wins. He has no unit that can ever beat a mutant, or even come particularly close to it. Now I have to try and fight drone swarms with Buggy, which is always feels bad. Get him, Buggy, preferably today. Nope. Well, the dreaded Orca. Best unit in the game against the Buggy tank deck.
Unit ready. Unit offline. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Let's go, Inferno!
Unit offline.
He has Seth, I suppose, but like 70 for a single flamer to try and fight someone who's literally just making mutants. It's pretty tough, man. That's pretty tough.
3, 2, 1. New mission received.
Harvester moving.
Alright, we have switched the flamers to rifles to make the deck slightly cheaper so we can get to Inferno.
Unit ready.
Brotherhood is rising. Gonna shred 'em. Gonna shred 'em. Fill 'em with holes. Buggy rolling.
Bikes? Bikes? Yeah. Okay. This is what we want. This is like the ideal opening for this deck. His opponent opens rifles and then switches into bikes.
Get down. Scorpion. What's needed?
Because then they have 2 buildings that can't beat Buggy and tank.
Scorpion.
So like your opponent has tech switched and still is incapable of beating the small amount of things you have.
Scorpion striking.
Some fun little ring around the rosy. I'm not sure what we're waiting for.
We will not yield. Attack. Glory to God. Blowing them apart.
Mutant. Okay. A little scary.
Scorpion tank reporting.
Unit ready.
Scorpion red. We will not.
What's needed?
Scorpion ready to hunt. We will not yield. Glory to God.
Nuclear missile launched.
I just noticed the harvest is level 12 and the mutant's level 14.
Mission accomplished.
Yikes. Well, anyway, there we go. Some buggy opening. Like, I mean, in conclusion, you can open buggy. I just don't know why you'd want to. Like, 10 cost units are so much better. They give you so much more flexibility if you open with a 10 cost unit. And it just, across the course of a game, you'll save so much money by making, every time you make a rifle to kill a laser, you've saved 20 on making a buggy to kill a laser. And yeah, sure, it's not as fast and it's not quite as beefy, and like, it is a worse unit, but that's why it costs 1/3. Which means you'll easily save up the 100. Like, you do this 5 times, you make rifle instead of buggy 5 times, you can make an Inferno. So, like, buggy is fine, but you could also just play bikes. You could just play this, or this, and your deck would be better. So, I don't know, man. Sure, you can open buggy if you really want to, it just isn't as good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed some buggy opening, and I'll see you all next time.